How you doing? Welcome to the next video. Today I want to talk about alcohol-free beers, and specifically I'm going to give you some tips on how to approach alcohol-free beers once you have stopped drinking alcohol. I think it's important, right? So the first thing to look at is, what is your aim when you're stopping drinking alcohol, right? Why are you thinking about stopping drinking alcohol? Think about all the negatives in your life. It's not just because of the alcohol that you're trying to stop, right? You're not just trying to get rid of the alcohol out of your life. It's about trying to get rid of some of the mindsets, some of the behaviors, some of the mindsets and the thinking and the behaviors that are accompaniments of your life of drinking alcohol. Think about it. When I talk about my life drinking alcohol, I'm talking about 30 years, right? Over 30 years. So I started drinking alcohol when I was 13. Didn't really start proper, a lot of alcohol until I was 18, and then it was a progression after that. I stopped when I was 46. So most of my adult life has been consumed with drinking alcohol up until that point, right? After that, I'm 9 years off it now. Completely different way of looking at things, completely different way of thinking, of mindsets, nothing to do with alcohol. So I've said this before, that behavior change doesn't happen because you stop drinking alcohol. You only stop the behavior of drinking alcohol once you stop drinking alcohol. Don't forget, there's so many different things that are involved or that happen in your life because you were drinking. So this is not about the alcohol, right? So let's get that out of the equation altogether. It's not about the alcohol. It's about getting rid of you being drunk, getting rid of all the shit that's happened in your life because you've been getting drunk and because you've been poisoning your body. The physical consequences, the mental consequences, all of these things are a result of you drinking alcohol, but it's not about that one thing. So taking the alcohol out is stopping the flow of the alcohol. It's stopping the consequences because you were drinking alcohol, but it's not changing anything else. You've got to really move towards that. You've got to move towards the best possible version of yourself and start looking at what is your potential, what are your values in life, what are these things that are going to come out of that. So that's one point. It's a good place to segue while I show you a bit of where we are. It's a bit windy again today. It's the middle of January here, so it's cold. It's cold. It's nice. It's still nice. So before we move on to the next step, I just want to talk to you about the quick start guide that we've got. If you want something free, it will help you to step across that line and help to give you a bit of encouragement and confidence in yourself, to give you a bit of courage to step across that line and to make it clear about where we're going. This only takes you up to the day that you step across that line. That's all we're trying to do in this course. Specifically focus on areas. That's what we do throughout the program. If you want to support the channel, you can. We're trying to keep as independent as possible. We've got our blog over on habitsv2.com. The link is down below for that as well. So all the videos that you can see there, you'll see over on the blog. If we ever get shut down here, that's where you're going to find us. If you want to support the channel, if you want to support what we're doing, you can support us on YouTube by clicking the join button down below. You can support us on Patreon by also clicking on the link down below. The best way you can support us is always going to be over on habitsv2.com. It's where I can support you. It's the best way I can support you in a step-by-step way. If you think the videos here are good, then what you'll find over there is going to give you much more information. And it's just provided in a very sequential way. So it's taking you from preparation all the way through to the first 30 days. The next 30 days after that, coping, acclimatizing to your new life, and then generally twisting yourself around and moving in a different direction. So if you think about alcohol, going back to the video, it's impossible to eliminate all the alcohol from your life. There's very small amounts of alcohol in alcohol-free beer, right? The idea in general is to stop drinking alcohol as a medication, like I said before, as a way of getting drunk, as a way from disappearing from life, as a way of changing your emotions. This is what we're trying to get away from, that self-medication aspect of things. And when we look at things like that, we're looking at it from the perspective of self-medication. We're looking at it from the perspective of So you're not switching out one medication for another, or you're not switching out alcohol for another behavior, which is allowing you to disappear from your life and not allowing you to reach and to move towards your potential. So it doesn't matter if the medication is there to help you to forget, to be happy, or whatever motivation it is in your life. Drinking is a toxin that is going to alter your brain, and that's dangerous if you want to have a good life, if you want to reach your potential. We keep talking about potential in this, but this is, it's the idea, it's the method for everything that we do. So even small amounts of alcohol in the alcohol-free beers, they're not going to get you drunk, but it depends on what your aims are. The thing with alcohol-free beers in the beginning is it's a dangerous thing to do because it's something that can remind you of alcohol in a dangerous way of what you're missing. Now, alcohol-free beers have obviously got only a small amount of alcohol, so they're not going to get you drunk. You can drink a lot of them, and they won't get you drunk. But try drinking a lot of alcohol-free beers. It's virtually impossible. It's just, I can manage 2, 3 at a push, and I have to be very, very thirsty for that, with no water around, and then I'll drink 3. But it's very hard. It's very difficult to drink them. I normally, if I'm having an alcohol-free beer, it's with a curry, or if we're out and we're celebrating and it's just something to have there, I'll do that. And alcohol-free beer is the beer for me now. It's not, if I smell alcohol anywhere in the beer at all, it's not nice. I don't like it. So alcohol-free beers is beer for me. But if it's something that is pushing you towards thinking about drinking again, and you're thinking about what you're missing out on, then it's a dangerous thing to do. I don't advise anyone to drink it at the beginning. It's just not. You're much better off avoiding it. Most of the time, people are talking about drinking alcohol-free beers. It's so they can still go out to the pub, or so they can still feel that they're not. It's like a substitute. It's like I don't think it's anywhere near as bad as the vaping. If you're using vaping to stop smoking, I think that's a bad thing. I think it's an alternative, and it stops you from getting some of the things, but it's addicting you to something else, or it has that potential, so you still have to work on it, and it just prolongs the stopping, if you like. For me, alcohol-free beers, it's a personal decision for you to take. If non-alcohol beers are going to increase your craving for the alcohol version of it, don't do it, right? Alcohol-free beers can be a tool, but they can also be a big reminder of your old life. And that's, my job as a coach is to try and push you as quickly as possible, and to take away, to de-alcohol your mind, right? To take away all the thoughts about alcohol from your mind, and to, in the initial stages, and then to push you on to towards the best possible version of yourself. That is the best way that I know of getting you to move away from alcohol and to leave alcohol behind, is to improve your life so much that you don't want to go back to alcohol, and to improve your thinking that much that you don't want to go back to alcohol. That's my job as a coach, right? So that's what I do. So drinking alcohol-free beers, especially in the beginning, is undermining that necessity to sort of to move you away from alcohol. I want you to hate alcohol, not for the drink it is, but hate the fact that it's going into your mouth, and it shouldn't be going into your mouth. I want you to look at alcohol like it's in the same sort of idea that you wouldn't put bleach into your mouth or petrol into your mouth, that you wouldn't put alcohol into your mouth. I want you to see alcohol in that same sense. You don't hate petrol. You put petrol in your car and you go off and whatever you're doing, you think. I think there's a lot of people probably that do hate petrol these days, but I'm not one of them. I love petrol. I love diesel. I think it's allowed us to live the life that we are. Anyway, that's a different story. I'm not going to get that bog me down into something that I might not get out of. So I want you to see alcohol on that same wavelength, that you just wouldn't put it into your body. that it's not something that you need to go into your body. So it's only later that I think that these things should come into your life. I mean, like I say, this is your decision. It's a personal decision to everyone. If it's going to help you to break the habit, and it's really going to help you to break the habit, if it's going to help you to break that thinking and that behavior, then do it. But there's a lot more to breaking the habit than stopping drinking alcohol, right? So, just be careful in the beginning. Be careful of what you're doing. I think it's preferable that you don't substitute a non-alcohol beer unless you absolutely necessarily have to. If you're finding yourself in a position where you're having to go to a party or something, or you've got to go somewhere where you know that there's going to be alcohol there, and you just don't want to be you need something there to hold in your hand, and you really think that an alcohol-free beer will help you, then by all means do it. But other than that, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't buy them to bring home. I'd prefer that you drink tea, or find some other more healthy beverage to drink. Does that make sense? But if you're going to do it, do it with careful consideration, right? Just think about what you're doing. So I made a video here. You can watch this one here, and that was a long time ago. I've made this video on alcohol-free beers. It was a walking video that I did, and yeah, I haven't watched it in a while. But have a look at that if you want some more on that. Next video is going to be 5 ways that you can launch your potential. That's going to be a good video. I like that one. It's sort of an add-on to the last video that I did, where I was talking about stopping drinking alcohol. It's 2 different things, to stopping drinking and moving on with your life. So anyway, it's a long video today. Take good care of yourself, and I will speak to you again soon. Onwards and upwards. Keep the alcohol out of your mouth. Bye now.